Welcome to We Win. This is our first edition, and this is actually a very special edition. I wanted to bring on someone who really just captured my heart and told her story to the point where I was almost in tears. So if you are a crier, you might want to just get a tissue now. But this podcast is about empowering entrepreneurs and people in the community. And if that is you, this is the podcast for you. And if this isn't for you, keep scrolling because we've got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be diving into. And I have my special guest, Sergi, here today. Sergi, please introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are and why you made me cry.
Well, thank you, Michelle. It's an honor to be here, and I appreciate you giving me this time for that. But my name is Sergi Lee, and I am one of the owners for Thai Plates Cuisine here in the Mesa area. But what really, I was telling Michelle and sharing with her about my husband and I, our experience to where we are right now. First of all, he served 24 years in the United States Navy. And through that experience as a military spouse, I've always had to get up and go, and a lot of changes and everything. But what it was really dear and near to me truly when I thought about what, we took away from all of the, movements and, the deployments and everything, how much vacancy that my husband has been away from the kids and then transitioning from military into civilian. And it's really difficult to do that because once you are in the op tempo of, standards of procedures and policies and structure and, just the work ethics of everything is just very different in the military.
Yeah.
And then now transitioning to the civilian world, it's kind of challenging. And particularly, you're not 18 years old anymore, and finding a job is really difficult. So
who do you want to be when you grow up?
Exactly. And you have to answer that question again. Uh-huh. So it was really challenging. And I saw that in my husband. He went in pretty strong, pretty healthy, and he exited onto retirement a little broken. But we put the pieces together and we make this broken person however we want to be.
So you
the
were
mental
the
health
strength
challenges.
when all of that came to pass and you're just held it all together.
I tried.
And
Yes.
you obviously did because now you're thriving and your husband is thriving and you guys are just a power duo. I love that.
Thank
so
you.
tell me about how we started, obviously going from being a military family and traveling and all the things, PCSing and all the things, to becoming a civilian and then going, now what do we want to be when we grow up?
Exactly.
Right? How are we going to be contributors to our community? What do we want to do? How are we going to provide for our family, so that we feel good about what we're bringing our children into and just all those things full circle. Yes. Tell me a little bit about that transition for you and what inspired you to start the Thai cuisine.
Yes. So it's there's a lot of moving parts to it. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. When you do transition, it's kind of like, what do I do with my next career? And it's like, is it a career or do we want to stick to a hobby? Or, like a lot of things that comes into place. But it was hard to just find an 8-to-5 job, or 9-to-5. And particularly when you have to work with multiple individuals and people out there. So I have a little mental health background. And I noticed some of the changes in my husband. And I'm like, why don't we explore owning our own business? And the opportunity was right. It's always opportunity. I feel like it. Yes, I feel like it's timing. And when things are right, it just flows somehow. I don't know. It's a mystery.
Make a decision and it flows.
Yes, it just flows. Yes. But we always knew that one day we wanted to own a restaurant. Okay. And like I was telling Michelle, when we first interacted together, it was actually over a decade ago. We took our life savings and put into Thai Plates Cuisine, and that was our first investment. That was a challenge in itself because if you think about this,
scary,
newlywed, having a clue about what's going to go on, he's still serving, thinking that he was just going to do his 4 years and out, and 24 years later, we're right back where, what do we want to do? So that kind of was in our blood all the time. I have this entrepreneurship in my blood. I'm always running. Like, I have another business doing other things too, but this one is our main focus right now.
It's your baby.
Yeah, it's my baby right now because I love cooking.
Yeah.
It's very therapeutic. You know,
Yes.
a lot of people are like, why would you get into a restaurant? It's so stressful. And I'm like, well, if you don't know, or if you don't know who I am, I'm very introverted. I like my own space and I'm in my element. And I see my husband's name is Joe, and him improving on his mental health, you know. And like I was saying, that vacancy away from the kids, because this is a family-owned business, and the kids are right in there with the ethics and everything.
Yeah.
And the work ethics, I would say. So kind of
It's
setting the
therapy
example.
for him, and then
Yes.
also serving to your family and your
Yes.
children
Yes.
for building your legacy.
Keeping that legacy going and keeping Auntie's recipe alive.
Aunties, yes, that's
Yes.
what really
Yes.
got me. You know, we were talking about the reasoning, and when she started talking about Auntie's recipe, and you got emotional, I got emotional.
Yes, we did.
So this is where, tell me more about Auntie's recipe and how this all came together.
So Auntie, she's been doing serving, or I would even say it's her passion in food, 40-something years. And she gave or taught all of us how to work with these recipes.
Yes.
And, you know, sometimes it's like a dash of this and a cup of that. There's never really a measurement. And I'm sitting here going, hold on, running with my utensils and everything going, okay, 1 teaspoon, Grandma, Auntie, is it 1 teaspoon of a regular teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of this silver one or the yellow one? Which one? So it's the joy of connecting with her again and being able to pass it from generation to generation. I think that's important.
Yes.
And along the way, it is very authentic because, you know, we have so many preservatives in our food right now.
Yes.
And it's hard because people forget how sugar really tastes like. You know, what does sugar cane taste like? What does a broccoli taste like? You know, like the actual
What does real
vegetables.
food in its pure form, what does it
Taste
taste like? Especially some of these pure, authentic recipes
Yes.
that took those real raw ingredients and made them all come together and just really, you know, kiss your palate with,
Yes,
with just
yes,
deliciousness. And,
yes.
you know, versus all the, for lack of better words, inauthentic
Yes.
foods, all the
Yes.
preservatives, like you said.
There's a
just
lot.
all the things, and you know, the different oils and how they process all these oils that we use now in normal cooking, which is really bad for us,
really
that we're
bad.
finding, and how it's causing health issues and disease. And you know, so like, please expand. I know I get
It's
so
okay.
excited and emotional
I know you do.
at the same time. I'm like, okay, keep it together.
Yes,
Don't go
yes,
there. But-
yes, but it is very true to that. And I just remember, because we carry these recipes with us wherever we go. Since we've been gone from the business for the last, decade or so, we actually kept that cooking even as he served in the military.
Yeah.
So when we have the single sailors, I'm saying sailor because he served in the Navy.
Yes.
And Marines.
Yes.
They have no home to go to, you know, and food is the soul, you know. So I just remember one year we just kept cooking and cooking. It was a weekend. I don't know what we were thinking, but religious ministry reached out to us and they're like, hey, we know you have some Thai skills. And I'm like, how did you find me? Like, well, someone told me that you cook. And I was like, okay, well,
Word got around.
we're gonna do this. So it was one of the weekends. I think Joe came home from one of his little small. It was not really a deployment. It was just just kind of like a little. I don't know what it's
Tour.
called. It wasn't even a tour. It's just an exercise. That's
Okay,
what it was.
exercise.
A small little exercise. And he came home that weekend. And he's like, all right, where we're going? I'm like, you're not going anywhere, sir. We're going directly to the chapel, and we're cooking. And he wasn't sure what he was doing.
What did you sign
But-
me up for?
Exactly. Okay, just go with the flow. Your wife says go, we go. And he did. But he connected with so many of them. And he remembered when he was a single sailor.
Yeah.
And nobody was there to support him. So food is of the soul.
Food is of the
And
soul. I
he
love that.
served over 500 sailors food that day. And it was Auntie's recipe. And we continue to do that till today. And I love it. Like, I just ran from the restaurant here and I just finished one of my sauces and I'm going, nobody touch this. You're forbidden to even go near this. And
I'll be back.
I'll be back. Yes, I'll be back. And because some you have to simmer and everything. So that really opened up a lot of things. And we kept talking about, owning our own. And then just recently, April 1st, we bought the restaurant back from his brother. And the aunt is his aunt, not my aunt from my side, but it's Joe's aunt.
Okay.
And I told him, I said, hey, you know what? I have other ideas. And I'm like, I really want to be the first Thai Hmong restaurant in the Mesa area. And everyone's like, what is Hmong? Yeah, like they're kind of like...
Tell our viewers what Thai Hmong is. Like, what is the difference, or how can people distinguish you and your flavor?
So for the Thai dishes, lots of spices. And the spices are true to Thailand, because you can think about India spices, Indian from Indian, and then the spices is from East Africa. There's different spices. We've traveled all over the world, so I've learned about different spices from all over the world, and it's been fantabulous. I love it. I loved every part of it. Eating it is my favorite, but just the spices. So Thai is just the taste and the flavoring is a little bit different. Sometimes a little bit more savory to a zesty, and then like the coconut. We're known for our curries.
Okay.
And the curries are sweet, savory, tangy a little bit.
Okay.
And then our pad thai is our signature, pad thai and the pad vunsen, and those are really native to Thai. And you can't just really make up a pad thai. It's like the sauce is how you saute it, the level of heat in your wok and everything. It's science. It's science in a wok.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching MasterChef lately, and I'm just fascinated by all the different cuisines that I just never really even thought of. So I'm intrigued by it. And so the Hmong, what is the Hmong part of it?
Yeah, so Hmong, we don't have a country. We are a tribe that's spread throughout China, Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam. It's just kind of we're a tribe. Okay. I always like to relate, if you guys know who Sunisa the gymnast is. Sunisa Lee. She's a gold medalist for the United States. Okay. Gymnastics team. Okay. She's Hmong. And I'm putting it out there because I'm like, oh, she's kind of related, but that's okay. She's Hmong, and a lot of people are like, so what's Hmong? And she talks a little bit about who we are and everything. Okay. But because of where we lived, we don't have preservatives. We don't have where you could just go to McDonald's and buy a hamburger. So how you prepare Hmong cuisine, very simple, very healthy, and it's full of nutritions. And it's a lot of like vegetables. Meat is very expensive. Yeah. And meat is actually harder to get because when you're in the mountains, it's a little bit harder. So I can go on and on about the Hmong cuisine. Yeah. But the Hmong dishes are very simple. So I made this egg roll, and I've been introducing it, and everyone's like, put it on the menu, put it on the menu. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to put it on the menu, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call it a chalkboard menu. Okay. And however I'm feeling that day, you will only find it at Thai Plates Cuisine. I like that. If you come, you will see what's on that chalkboard.
Go look on the chalkboard.
But if you don't come, you won't know what's cooking that day. So I want to do that. And I think I will. I'm the only first Hmong restaurant here if we're going to do Thai Hmong fusion.
Thai Hmong fusion. Yeah. So you've heard it here. The first in Mesa, Arizona, Thai Hmong fusion.
Yes.
Restaurant.
Yes.
Yes, all authentic, all healthy, all no preservatives, all the good things.
Minimal MSG.
Family oriented.
Yes.
Minimal MSG. Veteran owned. Operated. Yes. All the things. So. Yes. Well, that's just, this time I didn't cry. Yes. So that's good. What's one last thing that you would want to say to other people who have gone through something similar to what you have and maybe on the verge of saying, gosh, I want to become an entrepreneur. I don't know, or I don't know what's next for me. And what would you speak to their soul in a way that you might have heard if someone would have said it to you when you were in that position?
Yeah. So I want to address my veteran community.
Yes.
Because I think that's very important.
Yes.
I've been working for veterans for the past 24 years, military and service members.
Yes.
But I feel that where you are in your point of life, you are at a point where you don't want to work for someone else, because the mental health challenges. I never know what you are going through. I don't know what's behind, that the figure that I see in front of me. But I know that there's deeper things. And when you become an entrepreneur, find something you feel you'll never work a day in your life. Find that passion. And that's what I see in my veteran, my Joe. my Joe.
Yes.
Is he found something that he enjoys. He's writing his own standard of procedures. He's writing his own policies. And nobody can tell him how to do it. And it's very therapeutic because I love it when other veterans come to the restaurant and I see the therapy that's going on between those two. I see it and the stories, and then they end up staying there for 2-3 hours, and I'm like, oh, man, hey, if it's helping them, it's helping him. So just the challenges there. But for it, and even any entrepreneur, if you don't try it out, you never know. I have so many business failures. You only hear the successes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
and then
because it got you to where you are.
Yes.
And it's okay to, the cliche term now is fail forward.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You fail forward. Well, sometimes you fail forward, you smack your face, and it really hurts.
Yes,
right?
it does. It does.
But really, if you hadn't failed forward or, taken those risks, then you wouldn't be where you're at today.
Yes.
And experiencing the joy and giving back to the community
Yes.
that you are a part of. And we appreciate you because
Absolutely.
I never even knew. I've heard of Thai food. My mom loves, Thai salads and different things like
Yes.
that. I was like, what is that?
Yes.
My dad served too. My dad's a veteran and my grandpa and so they've all traveled. And here I'm born and raised in Arizona, so I'm like, please teach me. Please,
Yes.
please share with me. Please show me what you've experienced because I was so little when my dad, started.
Yeah.
But he started his business when I was a teenager,
Right.
and so I know what it feels like to be on that side of it, but to be on your side of it and the experience and what you have seen
Yeah.
transfer and transition in your family,
Yes.
your husband, your children,
Yes.
all full
Everyone.
circle,
Yeah.
everybody.
We all win.
Yeah, we do. We win.
Yes.
So
it's
together
amazing.
we win.
Yes.
And, empowering others to really take a stand and make a decision to, fulfill their spiritual, soulful desires.
Yes.
And if that is starting a Thai restaurant or if that's doing something else, one last thing before we go, what would you like to say to the community?
Oh gosh, we are diversifying here in Mesa.
Yeah, we
And I like Michelle hit the nail in the head right there. There are people here that have not ventured out of a hamburger or a hot dog, or it's just no opportunity to explore. Right now is the time to do it. I know it's hot outside. I know,
It's Arizona. We chose that.
Yes. We have air conditioning.
We don't have to shovel sunshine.
Yes. But it's that diversity. I see it growing. I want to be part of that community that grows. I want people to come and, try something. It's if you've never had steak Thai style, ask us. I'll make you a steak salad. Come check it out. And by the way, it's really good.
Yeah.
The steak salad. But it's just a lot of, like I said, the growth of the Mesa community. Diversity's coming in, whether we like it, it's all over. And being able to travel all over the world and see that and bring that here is my goal.
Embracing it.
Just through food and flavors.
Food. Love
Yes.
food. Not a little girl for no reason. I love food.
Yes,
So-
I do too. I do. But come to our little shop. It's on the corner of Powers and Broadway.
Power and Broadway.
Broadway and Broward.
In Mesa. Let's see here. Is that the northeast, southeast?
Oh gosh, it's north. Hold on,
North?
northwest.
Over
side
by
of-
where the old Safeway was? Is it
Yes, it's right next to Albertsons and Banner
Okay.
Surgery Center.
Okay, so yeah, there's a nice big hospital there too.
Yes.
So if you have a loved one, that's Banner Heart right
Yes.
over there. So if you have a loved one, there's also a cancer center over there.
Yes,
That's close. So if
exactly.
you kind of need to get a breather and you just want to have something soulful or just really resonate with something
relax.
that's just gonna, fill your spirit, fill your
Yes.
soul, like
Yes.
fill your cup. Definitely
Yeah.
check it out and enjoy, and hopefully you bring the family and they get to experience it, unlike me where I've never experienced it. So I am looking forward to meeting with Sergi and coming and checking out her cuisine and just to really experience everything that you have to offer.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
You too.
We all do.
I do too.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you for joining us today. We win together when we support each other and we just really take it on and be authentic and real and share knowledge and grow together. So we win together.